What's up, good people? Welcome back to another episode of Undrafted Views. We're here. We talk sports from the sidelines, and today we're going to talk about the Boston Celtics and give you our three observations from their West Coast road trip. Let's get into it.
The Boston Celtics are 13 and 14, having lost 3 games in a row against Los Angeles teams and the Phoenix Suns. What has been your biggest takeaway?
My first one would be that Jayson Tatum is playing by himself. He's out there by himself, and I think that it is taking a toll on the entire team. Now, for some reason, he may feel like he needs to carry the team. I know he's a number one option, and I get all of that, but the number one option need people around them to help with the workload. And I don't think the other starters and bench has been contributing consistently enough to make the Boston Celtics be a top six seed in the Eastern Conference. And so, how many more 25 plus point games must Jayson Tatum put up by himself in a loss? Like, what else? What else he's supposed to do? Then Marcus Smart. The teams are not sharing. They're not. Him and Jaylen are not. Sharing the ball. Who are you gonna share the ball with? Who? I just need more. Jayson Tatum cannot continue for the rest of the season. Expect with the load on his back like that. That's just and unfortunately, because he's playing so well, I guess, considering how the team is, they're not getting wins. And so it's almost done in vain. So for me, my first one is like Jayson Tatum is just doing it all. And it just looks like he's out there by himself.
Interesting enough, I think he's shooting the ball too much. I think he needs to. I kind of agree with Marcus Smart now. He needs to pass the ball. It seems like when he's double teamed, he still tries to shoot the basketball. You can't do that. There's 4 other players available. Jayson Tatum has to share the ball more, which will in turn allow the offense to be more fluid.
He doesn't trust his teammates. That's just what it has to say. So he feels like he needs to carry the load. And why is that? That has to be it, right? So if there are other 4 members on the court, why does he feel like he couldn't pass the ball? Why is he trying to go through double team? Why? Why does he want to do that? Because he doesn't believe, again, this is my take, my opinion. It appears that he doesn't believe that his other teammates can get it done. So he's out there by himself, playing by himself. That's what it looks like. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. What I am saying is that he can't continue to do that. So either he is going to share the load or take on the load. At the end of the day, it's not enough because the Celtics look like they don't belong. And they're big. Are they like a top 10 right now?
No.
They're number 10. They're
Yeah,
number 10
yeah,
in the East.
they are
number
number 10, yes.
Barely number 10 in the East.
Well, here's the thing, though. Against the Los Angeles Lakers, Jayson Tatum took 22 shots. How was that effective? How was that effective, though? And then against the Clippers, he took 20 shots and they had more balanced scoring and they only lost by 3. But then he followed it out with the Phoenix Suns. He shot the ball 25 times. He did not have a good game, shot 10 for 25 from the field. When do you say, okay, you know what? My shot is not on today. My 3 ball is off. I'm shooting 1 for 7 and I have 4 turnovers. Got to share the basketball. I think he might be stat chasing just a little bit.
Or is his coach designing plays where he is the one to take those shots? What is it? Is it really Jayson Tatum saying I'm going to do it my way? Or is it that he has a supporting cast member and his coach saying we're going to do it this way? What does that look like? At the end of the day, there is a breakdown in the Boston Celtics in their roster. Something is not right? So, and my second observation is that they miss Jaylen Brown. At the end of the day, his production has not been absorbed by somebody else. They need his. I mean, what? Jaylen Brown can give you at least 21 points, at least. Yeah. So if he's not able to do that, and there's nobody else on the roster that can do it consistently. Now, yes, I know that Dennis Schroeder may give you 19 in one game, but then he may show up with 7 the next. It's not enough. Marcus Smart may give you, maybe a 15-point game, but then the next game he's barely doing it. What I'm saying is that it almost feels like without Jaylen Brown, there is no other individual that can consistently show up and help with point production, which leads me back to my first observation. Jayson Tatum having to do it all, right? So it's the tandem that's missing. And unfortunately, nobody else on a consistent basis can take up that, absorb those points and the production that Jaylen Brown provides. I know Jaylen Brown is not always on point, but at least there's a counterpart. And I think that's what's missing for me right now. So maybe he's on an island, Jayson Tatum. I don't know, but he needs somebody else to come help him. And with Jaylen Brown not being available, it makes it rough.
Well, if Coach Udoka is calling up plays with Jayson Tatum like that consistently, one after another, then shame on him. And my second takeaway has been the Celtics lack focus. Okay. It's a Coach Udoka problem. They are not fully engaged for 4 quarters of the game. It seems like they fall off either in the second quarter or the third quarter. And it's horrible to come back from halftime after having a kumbaya with your coach and your teammates, and you come out flat in the third. That's unacceptable. And that's what's been happening with the Boston Celtics. Coach Udoka has to take the blame for that.
But he doesn't, because there was a quote and I wrote it down, and I was like, why does he say that? Lack overall effort and pride is not where it needs to be. That's from the coach. Is that for you or is that for the team? Like, they lack overall effort and pride. So what are you doing to help with that? I don't understand it. And then how do you, when you mentioned about them being like laxed in the second or third quarter, one of the games, I can't recall which one it was, they had 15 points in the second quarter. 15 points. You're not about to win no game with 15 points in the second quarter. That means you're going into the halftime already defeated. Already defeated. And so now we're out here with inconsistent players that don't do it. And then we expect Jayson Tatum to do it all. It ain't. It's a formula for disaster. It's not working. It's not working. So I don't know. I don't get it.
My biggest knock on Coach Udoka so far has been that it seems like he throws his players under the bus while he tries to stand there and look good. That is not going to work well for this young team. And I don't think players have bought into his system because of that. That's how he started preseason. Remember, he suspended Marcus Smart. I think that is still lingering on. And he loves to talk to the media and throw all his players, the team, under the bus. That's just not a good look,
I have yet, and I'm not saying he hasn't done it, I have yet to see or hear where he said, you know what, I'm gonna have to be a better coach.
Yeah.
Let me start with me. And of course, he doesn't do that because Brad may be like, well, maybe we need to replace you. But I'm waiting for him to just, can you own a piece of it? Like, you just out there and you just, I tell them what to do and they're supposed to do it. Just
a coach is supposed to motivate, guide,
and he could be trying to do all of that. I can tell you they're not listening.
No, they haven't bought in.
No. Brad, can you take the next 5 games and coach them? Because maybe they'll hear him. I didn't have a problem. I don't have a problem with discipline. I really don't. I don't have a problem with Udoka wanting to suspend Marcus Smart. People like, I don't have a problem with all that. What I have a problem is that you can connect. So even through all of that, you still can't connect with the players in a way that they now don't look like they don't have effort and pride. At what point did it change? Because last year they had effort and pride, but this season they don't have it.
And what has been the biggest change?
What has been
bringing him in? Yeah. Ooh, that's something that's interesting.
So then who is it?
Right.
Here we are, quarter mark of the season, and I'm looking like maybe it's not the players necessarily. They have their part. Yes, of course, they're on the court. Of course they do. But Udoka, look at the mirror. I don't know what to tell you. Something needs to change, because this Boston Celtics team is not the team that I expected to come into the season with.
No, they're barely hanging on. I mean, number 10 in the East and slipping very quickly. I'm telling you, it is not pretty. I did not expect them to go on this West Coast road trip and lose to the Lakers, the Clippers, and then follow it up with the Phoenix Suns. Now, the Phoenix Suns, one of the best teams in the West.
I have no problem with them losing to the Phoenix Suns. Matter of fact, I knew when they were coming to this road trip that the Phoenix Suns would be a loss. I have no problem with that. The Phoenix Suns are right now the first best team, the best team in the league. But the Clippers game they could have won that game.
Yeah.
Without Paul George? You mean to tell me you guys lost without Paul George being on the court? Really? Really?
Yeah. I think the guys were, okay, because they played the Lakers first and then they stayed in town. That means that they were in Los Angeles at least 3 nights. Guys were probably partying, enjoying the LA scene, trying to play a basketball game and getting blown out by the Lakers 117 to 112, and then could have won the Clipper game 114 to 111.
Could have won that.
They
could have won that Clipper game. And you know what? That was funny because they played the Lakers on November 19th and they beat them. The Boston beat Lakers already.
Yeah,
And to come back this time and fall short, like how, with them old legs on that roster, I don't get it. I don't get it. There's a disconnect, and for you to come in, and I think they played Portland before that. I want to say they won that Portland game. Yeah, Boston beat Portland and then come to LA and lose 3 in a row. It doesn't make sense. And then my third observation would be that I need more production, more playing from the bench, other than Josh Richardson. Now, Josh Richardson, when he can give you something, right? But the other players, either they need more time on the court, or they just need to put more into the game that they're providing when they're put into the, when they're asked to come into the game. It's not enough. It's just not enough. The bench looks lackadaisical. I'm like, what is going on? So not only do you have Jayson Tatum over here doing by himself, you're missing another counterpart in Jaylen Brown, and then you got the bench not even showing up outside of Josh Richardson. What is going on?
I had Robert Williams III being a solid defensive anchor. He's obviously very young, but if they can develop him, I have him being one of the best centers in the Eastern Conference. But they just got to, this is, again, Coach Udoka has to take the time and work with the bigs. And that includes Enes Freedom coming off the bench. I mean, very little productivity from him, so that's what I have. I have, if they can figure out a way to get Robert Williams more involved, more shots, he's great. He's bouncy off the floor, great defender. They can take it far. And maybe that is the problem too.
Maybe. You know what? It amazes me how this road trip could have been an opportunity for him to play with the starting lineup a little bit. Coach Udoka could have played with the starting lineup a little bit. Perhaps have Shooter come off the bench and then bring in Pritchard. He just fell off. He fell off the side of the bench. Like, what happened? He was in heavy rotation last season. This season comes along and he can barely get 10 minutes. What happened to Pritchard? I mean, and then you got Langford and you got Neesmith. Like, why are these people not playing more minutes when you are struggling? Do you need a rejuvenation in your in the game? Put them in. Take out Schroeder. Take out Smart. I know you may not ever take out Smart, and you may not ever take out Jayson Tatum, but you got some other players on there that you can kind of flip-flop around just to switch it up a little bit. Give them some more playing time, and maybe you'll start to see a change in your whole scheme. But I need more production from the bench. I don't even know if it's really them. They may be feeling the same way that the starters are feeling. I can't connect. I don't know what it is, but I don't know how someone go from one season to the next and all of a sudden they don't have any more minutes. I don't get it.
Yeah. Can we talk about Al Horford? I mean, I thought he would be, veteran presence, kind of keep things, even keel, keep them on track. Horford is only averaging 12 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 block. Everyone said, oh, no sense in getting excited about him. This is his second time being a Celtic because he's old. Starting to see that too. I'm a little disappointed in his productivity. And I thought maybe he could be the liaison between the younger players and Coach Udoka. But I don't see that happening.
The more we talk about the Celtics, the more I am sensing that is the coach. For some reason, I'm getting that there may be a disconnect between the players and the coach. For some reason. I hope that's not the case. And perhaps the team needs to learn to adjust to their new coach because he may have a lot to offer them. They just need to try to accept it. But this Boston Celtics team cohesiveness is not the same as it was a previous season. And for me, you mean to tell me Kemba Walker was the glue?
Ooh, see.
Was Kemba Walker the glue?
I doubt it. Yeah.
What else changed?
Yeah.
That was a major move. Kemba Walker, right. Was it him? I don't know. They're missing something. They need to maybe go on a retreat. That's what companies do. They send everybody get on a off-site retreat and bond, and how they have these bonding sessions, and I've been through several of them. So I'm just saying maybe that's what they need to do. Try to kind of get back together, but have a come to me moment. I don't know what they need to do, but something about their whole chemistry and continuity is lacking for sure. It's totally different night and day. And there's 2 changes: the new coach and Kemba Walker.
I I know. So you choose, right? All right. So let's get into the Boston Celtics next 5 games.
So the next 5 games, they're going to be playing Milwaukee, and they'll be at home. So the next 5 games, they'll all be at home at the Boston Celtics arena, right? Milwaukee, Golden State Warriors, Knicks, Sixers, and Cavs.
Ooh, that's a tough. Oh my God. It might be a 5-game homestand, but it won't be easy.
It won't be easy. No, I have them going 2-3.
Yeah, that's what I have too. Who do you have them losing to?
Oh, Milwaukee, Golden State Warriors, and the Cavs.
Yeah, same.
Really?
Here. Yep.
You have the same?
Yep.
I have them losing to the Cavs.
I know they just the Knicks are struggling right now. And,
yes,
and the Sixers. I mean, they had a big win against Golden State Warriors. Stop Steph from achieving his goals. But
whatever.
Yeah.
It don't mean nothing to me. I mean, it may look good to the Sixers, but for me as a fan, that wasn't nothing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I have them going 2-3. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
If they come out of this with 2-3, I would be surprised. Hopefully they got a couple of days off. Maybe they can just rejuvenate themselves. It's really, really sad. It really is.
It is. All right, you guys, we're going to wrap up this episode on the Boston Celtics. Make sure you drop down in the comments and let us know what you think about their most recent West Coast trip. And we will see you guys on the next one. But until then,
peace.
Peace out.